Wednesday, Big Ten Seeds.
And we are live. Sing
We're
it,
live.
though. Sing us in. Sing us into the show.
Sing a song. Let's sing a song about seeds.
All right, you
Sing
think
a
of that.
song about seeds, buddy.
I'm gonna tweet the link out.
Did you ever see Chael Sonnen writes like RAF poems all the time on Twitter?
He's the best. Chael is the best. By the way, it's so funny that people don't understand when we debate or joke or whatever on the show. Like, I saw one of the Sabaloff brands said that our collaboration time is expiring soon. I'm like, no, not even close. This stuff just drives us closer.
Me and you?
Yeah, because
about what?
Well, our back and forth about Levi and Minto was clipped. So there's a lot of comments like, guys, I don't think
if you have a show with somebody you don't get in an argument about, your show probably sucks.
Yeah, this is the best, dude. Like, all the best shows have debate, have heckling, have this, have that. You need that. What are you gonna do? Just sit here and I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
hey boys, we got. It's only 3 weeks, guys. It's only 3 weeks for the regular season left, and I put out projected Big Ten seeds, which I'm telling you are damn close. Last year, my final ones were. Last year, I think I only did 2 iterations. I did them 2 weeks out, and then I did them after, into the final week, and then that was it. I think this year it'll be a couple updates, but unless there's some weird upsets, I don't think much is going to change. And when I got done with them last year, they were pretty dang close. I think what I have to watch myself, what I have to watch out for is getting tripped up between what I would do and what I think is right.
I saw a couple of those.
Versus what they will do. Because what they will do is be a bunch of nerds, and they'll go with the same old. So I got it but last year I caught myself doing that last year, and so I didn't end up. I think I only missed 1 or 2 things, and they were rather insignificant.
And by the way, just to set the stage,
we'll see how I do this year.
Just to set the stage, by the way, because we did our weekend recap show Sunday afternoon. So if you missed it and you're here to talk Penn State, Nebraska, and Iowa, Minnesota, and Oklahoma State, Iowa State, very exciting duel. Go back and listen to Sunday's show. We recapped the whole weekend for 90 minutes. I did. Willie, we talked about it yesterday. We had a 6 a.m. FaceTime call. Real quick, before we get into the Big Ten seeds. We had a 6 a.m. airport FaceTime call yesterday because I was stunned that I just woke up with so many people, primarily Oklahoma State fans, disagreeing that basically they hated my take, that I thought the duel was boring. And you're like, did you not expect that? And honestly, I didn't. I thought it was an awesome duel for Oklahoma State fans, and I didn't think that was a slant anyway. All their guys won close matches. You had a couple of great big wins with Forrest and Lockett. I didn't think I was being negative at all. It's just if you're tuning into a duel and you've got a lot of low-scoring matches, it's not the most exciting. But I was definitely surprised. You weren't surprised, though. You're like, yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was an entertaining duel. But, the speaker and the audience. The speaker of the audience, I saw it a mile away. You're saying it's not entertaining. They're going to say, oh, Bash, you only glaze Penn State and you hate everything else. That's what they're going to say. I knew they were going to say.
Yeah. Which is fine. I may have their heads might be in a blender then, because I might have an interview this afternoon. And
I love it.
And it might not be a Penn State guy. So Cowboy fans, maybe don't dismiss me just yet. Oklahoma Longhorn in the chat said would love some Big 12 seeding talk if possible.
Well, I have a gift for you then, because
Look at this. We're just the people that keep on giving.
I was working on the Big Ten seeds, and this happened last year. I did the Big Ten seeds, and then the Midwest cried bigly because they wanted Big 12 seeds. So I ended up doing the Big 12 too. So yesterday I'm trying to get the Big Tens done before this show so we could talk about them. And then I woke up. When I woke up at 10 o'clock last night. But I woke up and I was like, all right, let me put the finishing touches on these Big Ten seeds. And I looked and I'm like, they're done. They're good. They're great. So then instead of taking the time to have to fix those or finalize them, I just started banging out the Big 12 seeds. So they are well on their way. Maybe Thursday or next time we do the show, we'll go over Big 12 seeds. It'll be a little bit briefer because I have most of them done, and it's not as deep, and there won't be as much controversy. There's clear tiers there, not like the Big Ten where we'll see. At 125, there's a guy that I don't have seated that beat somebody that's seated sixth, and there's just all kinds of wonkiness.
Do you want to talk Big Ten seeds first, or do you want to cover the Olympic news?
I want to cover the Olympic news first. I think it's really interesting.
It is.
The UWW put out Olympic qualifying procedures. The Olympics are a little different in that you have to qualify for them. At Worlds, you can send one rep at any weight, no matter what. Olympics are designated at 16 spots per weight. And, of course, only 6 weights instead of 10. So it's a little tight. It's harder. It's not easy to qualify. And there's a new wrinkle this year. Every year every quad, they kind of change it up a little bit, and this year is no different. And there was a big curveball this year. You want to explain what it is, Bash?
Yeah, so there's actually a bunch of different nuances here. So they changed the qualifying criteria, number one. Let me pull up the exact tweet. So there's now going to be 4 quotas. I'll pull up on the screen. There's going to be 4 quotas at the 2027 World Championships. What that means, quota is a spot at the Olympics. So here it is on the screen. 4 quotas of the 2027 World Championships. 8 quotas / spots / allocations at the Continental Olympic qualifiers. 3 quotas from the ranking series. And then 1 quota / allocation / spot from the World and Olympic qualifier. They've also added the wrinkle with there that if a country qualifies even a single wrestler in the Worlds, the Continental qualifiers, or the ranking series, you are not eligible to go to the World qualifier. So that last chance qualifier that Zane went to, not possible anymore. If we qualify somebody at Worlds or Pan Ams or the ranking series. And if you look at the genesis of why they did this, it's largely because somebody tweeted out, they said it perfectly. I forgot who said it. UWW doesn't necessarily care about sending the best 16 wrestlers at a weight. They care about diversification in countries. And so they're not trying. It's a reason why you might have, if you're just doing the 16 best guys at a weight, you might have 3 from Russia, 4 from the U.S. Like their goal is to try to diversify the countries at the Olympics versus just ensuring that the 16 best guys show up.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And a lot of people say, why do they have why do they have two bronzes? It's the same reason.
Yep.
They have two bronzes to get more medals, more countries to medal. So they can say, look, Olympic Committee, our sport, we had medalists in one sport. We had medalists from 30 countries, as opposed to, and it's a small number, but it gets, because of the two bronzes, it gets bigger. But
Yep.
it's a much bigger number than, say, I don't know, probably anything else outside of. It's certainly, swimming has a gazillion events, and they still
Yep.
don't have that many different countries medal. So yeah.
And,
Uh,
and so there's a
okay.
couple wrinkles we'll talk about. Number one, you put a rant in the show docs that I thought was good about people that were not happy about it versus who should really not be happy about it, which is potentially the European countries.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to say, well, if we go to Worlds and we qualify four of six weights, we're not going to have an opportunity to qualify the next two because they said that we can't go. If we already have a guy represented, we can't go to the last chance qualifier. Well, yeah, tough titties. And here's why tough titties. We have several opportunities to go. We have several opportunities to qualify. You can qualify from ranking series. You can qualify from the World Championships. Um, and here's the kicker: you can qualify from continentals. So make the finals of Pan Am's, guys. Make the finals of Pan Am's. You're gonna have to beat one guy because, and that's if like it's crazy because there ain't no Canadians beating us. There ain't no Argentinians beating us. I mean, there's a couple Mexicans from the United States that pose a threat, and I'm sure that's going to happen. Right? Austin Gomez might not qualify, and we might not qualify at that weight, and then we might go to the Continentals and be on the same side of the bracket. And then Austin Gomez wins, and then we cry. We have first of all, America has more money than anybody. We have more opportunities than anybody. We exist in a very, very weak continental. If you want to be upset, don't be. You know who should be upset? You know who should be shaking in their boots right now? Like Azerbaijan, like Slovakia, like Germany, like those countries over there in Europe. I mean, Asians have Asians should be more fearful and more bent out of shape about it than us. I mean, look at how well Kazakhstan's doing. Look at how well Mongolia's doing.
Yeah.
Those countries are really on the come up. Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's doing really good. So we shouldn't cry. We have to go through Costa Rica and Chile. They have to go through Iran, Japan, Korea, India, all the stands. That's a tough. I bet you they're pissed. We got
Yeah.
the easiest path. So I don't want to hear Americans crying.
By the way, it's also worth mentioning a couple things. Number one, with
Hell,
this,
Asians might be tougher than Euros right about now.
a couple wrinkles they threw in here kind of quietly. Number one, the ranking series. Now that three are going to qualify from the ranking series, UWW also said the max you can send is two people. Right now it's three. So you might start getting a little bit more competition domestically to see who can go to the ranking series. And I don't know if, like, ranking series is usually like the first ranking series of the year is tomorrow, the Zagreb Open in Croatia, February 4th. We're not that far removed from Worlds, and Worlds is very late next year. So
Okay, I should have educated myself a little bit more. I didn't see this tweet until the wee hours of this morning, but when do they get from the rankings series? 3 from the ranking series.
So it's the 3 highest point winners that aren't qualified at the 2 other quotas, is my understanding.
So all combined, like does it have to be an individual?
No, like, how, so my understanding is this. Ranking series, you accumulate points. The 3 highest point winners, people who are not already qualified. So Spencer Lee goes at 57, and he medals at the Worlds. He's automatically qualified. He does not count for the 3 that are coming from the ranking series. So it's the 3 highest ranking series point winners, less those who have already qualified. So they're not going to steal a spot if, a world medalist or somebody is the highest ranking series placer.
Yeah, there you go. So go to the ranking series.
So my point in that too is, I think it's going to spark some competition
you
because
know what? Yeah, it's going to make the ranking series great.
And here's the other thing. So assume that if you're a returning world teamer, maybe it's a returning world medalist. USA has not come out with the criteria, and they probably will later this year, for who gets to go to the ranking series. You're now going to need criteria. Is it a returning world teamer? Is it a returning world medalist? Is it just the top 2 in the ladder? Can you challenge for that spot? Can you challenge for the Pan Am spot? Because now if all of a sudden the ranking series and the Pan Ams hold weight to qualify the country, you might see guys a bit more, hey, we're not going to play this only wrestle 3-4 times a year.
Well, you can send more than one to a ranking series, can't you?
2. They limited it to 2 now.
All right, so yeah, they'll have to come up with a criteria for it, but
like I believe the current limit is 3. But even for like this weekend, as an example, at 92 kilos, you got Trent Hidley, Dustin Plott, Mike Mock. At 86 kilos, I guess we're only sending 2 at 86 kilos. At 57, you got Spencer Lee, Liam Crone, Anthony Knox. So there's weights where you have 74 kilos from out David Carr, Jarrett Jacuz, and James Green. Like, there's guys that are going to want to go, and we're going to have a process put in place if we're now limiting it to 2.
I think it's so funny. It's so funny how Americans cry, like, when it comes for seeding purposes, right? When it's seeding purpose, they go, oh well, it's not fair because all those ranking series, they're in weird countries like Turkmenistan, and it's not fair to us. Okay, we'll see how fast the Americans get their ass to Turkmenistan when it's for the Olympic berth. Okay, so shut up.
Speaking of seeds, I also saw that the seed does not be determined. The seed will not be determined by the wrestler, but by the country. The country will be seeded, not the wrestler. So
That's good. I like that.
So Spencer Lee qualifies the weight, and then somebody else ends up as the rep. They still hold that seed. Previously,
I think I like that.
I do like it.
I like that.
I do like it, especially for us with a late Olympic trials process. If all of a sudden Kyle Dake or Zahid, if one of the other guys wins, let's say, at 86 kilos, it doesn't mess up the whole seed. I like it. I like that a lot.
I don't know if I like it. Here's why. I'm not sure if I like it. Frank Chamizo. You follow me? Giorgio Koujimasidis. You understand where I'm going with this? Let's say Frank Chamizo takes 3rd at Worlds, yada, yada, yada. He is He is fifth in point, or he's fourth in points. He gets the 4 seed. Okay. Frank Chamizo gets hurt training last minute. Italy gets a rep who's a 4 seed. They don't have no depth.
So then somebody's going to have an easy match.
Right.
I like it. I think
there's pros and cons to it, right? If the kid from Greece at 79 last year, he won the world title. Was it 79? Is that who beat Levi? Anyway, Greece ain't got no depth, right? He qualifies the weight, he gets the seed, and then breaks his ankle a week before and then Greece puts in somebody else. I mean, it's one thing if it's Russia, whoever's coming back, they got depth. If it's Georgia, but some of those countries.
I like it. Overall, I like it. I think these changes overall are good. I understand if people outside of the U.S. aren't happy with it. That I get. I get there should be more pushback there, but I like it for the U.S.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I think it's a sweet spot. There's pros and cons to it. I am under no delusions that at the last chance qualifier, there's not going to be Russia. There's not going to be Azerbaijan. There's not going to be
the
United States or Iran or Japan, because they're all going to have guys that already qualified. So I know that somebody's going to slip through like Australia or Ivory Coast or Canada. Sorry, brothers to the north. They're gonna sneak in somebody, right? I'm okay with that in the name of more representation, because. And this isn't like a DEI take. I'm not saying, everybody should be invited to the party, regardless of qualification. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there are plenty of opportunities to make it otherwise.
Yeah,
I think it's a good quid pro quo.
Yep, the good outweighs the bad. I like it. All right, William, you've been hard at work for the past couple of days working on Big Ten seeds, what the current picture is looking like.
I just work for the people,
And again, I'll put in the description, but it's on Willie's Rockfin, rockfin.com/Matt Scouts. Go subscribe for like $10, $15 a month, whatever it is.
Just put it right in the chat.
And get all of his, let's put it in the chat. We'll pin it in the chat. Then you get all of his content. And by the way, for people who cry, for the crybabies, like, I don't want to pay. There, I did a Willie voice. I don't want to pay.
Oh, we got blast voices.
Like, this is literally how Willie makes his money. So
this is how I live, guys. This is how I afford.
I understand being frustrated by paywalls, but like, literally, that's all the work Willie does for days and days and days and weeks of the month. That's his income. So I don't want to hear it. All right, let's dive in.
Let's get cracking. I didn't do like a count, like what I could have done, or maybe I could have said, Penn State has 7 number ones, and this team has this, and this projects to this many points. I could have done that. I didn't. Totally forgot about it, but whatever. Maybe I'll do it for the next set. Go ahead, you take it away, because I know. I don't know. Maybe you can put it up for the people that don't want to pay. Maybe you can put them up on the screen. I don't know. Maybe not. But
well, we can. It's also like, I don't know. I guess we can. I probably should have had them ready if you want to do that. But all right. So 125. We'll start 125. The seeds. These are what Willie's. We talked about in the last show, but. This prediction, again, to set the stage, it's not who we think should be the seed. It's Willie telling you, based on the Big Ten's criteria, based on how they seed this is how they're likely going to do it. It's not this is how it should be seeded. That's a key differentiating point for these seeds, is it's not like The Big Ten is not saying, "Hey Willie, you see the Big Ten tournament, you do it how you want to do it." That's not what this is. This is Willie telling you how the Big Ten is going to seed it based on their outside criteria. Willie's
Yes.
just pulling back the curtain, so don't shoot the messenger. So at 125, you got Lillidahl at the 1, Buzakis the 2, Dean Peterson the 3, Jory Volk the 4. I really shouldn't be reading names. Spencer Moore the 5, Jacob Moran 6, Nicolas Rivera the 7.
Yeah, and so I typically at each weight I go to 9. I think 9 is sort of a sweet spot where you can project out all the big matches, right? The 1 versus the 8-9, the 3 versus 6. And I think, with 14 teams in there, I think 9's probably a good sweet spot. So, and for each weight, I did do 9, except there was 2 or 3 occasions where either there's too many matches that will change things until the end, or it's really fuzzy, in which case I went down as far as it was very clear. And at 125 was one of those situations. Nicolas Rivera, despite not having a conference win against a starter, can you believe that? Nicolas Rivera does not have a win against a conference starter. Now, on the good side is he doesn't have any, well, he kind of does.
Well,
he lost to Navarro.
But also, again, this is a common theme that we're going to see throughout when it's like there's things that are not fair and there's things that are not necessarily anybody's fault. One of the reasons we were on tilt last week is come Friday night, Nicolas Rivera was set to wrestle Nick Buzakis, the number 2 guy in the country. Yeah. He doesn't go for whatever reason. And now here you are saying Rivera doesn't have a win against.
Right.
So it's like that's not Rivera's fault. And that's kind of there's some nuances throughout the way they seed this thing that just don't make sense.
Well, it's an unbalanced schedule.
Yeah.
There's Penn State, honestly, Penn State has wrestled they've had a couple good duels on their schedule, Nebraska's and Iowa's, and they have Ohio State in a couple weeks. But to this point, they've wrestled some of the lower ranked teams in the Big Ten. And there's a couple other schools like that. I don't know. Some guys, the way the weight is at their weight and the schools they wrestle, it didn't set them up to wrestle the top guys.
Yeah.
But so the 7, to me, the 7 are pretty clear. I mean, Nicolas Rivera is 13-3 overall, which is very good in a national ranking of 16. It's the 8-9 that are fuzzy, and you could even throw in a 10 in there.
Yeah.
I have Sotelo right now. I have Diego Sotelo. I would have him 10. Both him and but here's the problem with Sotelo. He's the only guy that has a loss to somebody outside of this. He lost to Rutgers' Aiden Smith. So he has a decent win in Navarro, but he has as of now, bad loss.
Yeah.
Any questions at 125? Like, why is this and why is that?
No, and I mean, I do think it's worth noting that as again we talked about in the last show, Lillidahl Buzakis, they should hit in 2 weeks at the duel or next weekend, I guess, and that will likely determine the number 1 spot, and the loser will probably hit the number 2 spot. I don't see that changing. Those two seem pretty locked in.
Yeah, that's the big one. Lillidahl Buzakis still have a date to determine that. They're the only 2 undefeateds in conference. Dean Peterson has been out injured. He has a lot left on his plate. Iowa has a ton left to go. They have Ohio State.
They have Ohio State this weekend, and then Michigan State Sunday. Next weekend, they have Michigan and Purdue, and then they have Oklahoma State.
And then they have Oklahoma State, yeah. So they still have a lot of wrestling to go. Dean even despite being out, he's still to me the clear three. Yeah, he's still the clear three with a match with Buzakis left. Spencer Moore kind of upset the apple cart a little bit last weekend by beating Moran, because that gave him a really good win. But Rivera still has to go. Rivera and Moran still have to hit. So that's sort of interesting. 133, pretty simple and straightforward. Lucas Bird's your top guy. He's undefeated in the conference, the highest ranked in the country. He has a head-to-head over Ayala. Here's one. Like, Illinois just did not hit. They didn't hit Ohio State. They didn't hit Penn State. They didn't hit Iowa. How crazy? They hit Iowa. But they didn't hit Ohio State. They didn't hit.
They do hit Nebraska next week, Friday night.
Yeah. But Lucas Bird, he has no losses to anybody, even in conference. And he should be the clear one, I imagine, with Davino and Blaze also undefeated and having to hit next week. Yep. So that'll determine the 2-3. And I say that assuming Bird gets a job done against Van D, who's honestly, Van D was an All-American last year, and I have him all the way down at 6th in the Big Ten seedings. 10th in the country, 6th in the Big Ten seedings.
That's crazy.
I actually have – here's one that defies the rankings, and some people might get mad at it. I don't know. But I have Fugit at the 4 ahead of Drake. He beat him head-to-head. I don't know.
And versus Field, he's 4-1, whereas Drake's 2-4.
Yeah, Fugit's only loss is Davino. So Fugit has a head-to-head. He has a higher conference win percentage. Fugit's 4-1. Drake's 2-4.
Yep.
And their ranking is split. Now, most people will say, "Oh well, Drake's clearly ranked higher." I don't know. He beat him head-to-head, and they're right next to each other. I'm putting Fugit ahead. I think I think that the coaches will do that, provided Fugit wins out, and that would be Frazier Botero. Now, here's the good thing. It's kind of academic because of the 4 or 5, who cares?
Yeah.
Right. But that's what I would do. Van D, the 6, he has 3 losses, none of them bad. Ayala, Davino, and Blaze.
It's kind of crazy that Davino and Blaze, another case where regardless of who wins, one's going to be likely the 2 seed and one's likely going to be winner's going to be the 2, loser's going to be the 3.
Yeah, and they'll be on the same side. Anyway, that would give them what? Davino would give them Sean Spidel, and Blaze would be Van D.
Man, it's going to be so fun.
And this way was pretty damn clear. There was no, if this guy beats this guy, it's probably going to be what you see there.
Crazy that an NCAA final rematch just could be a Big Ten semi. Like, you got to win an NCAA final rematch to get to the Big Ten finals.
There's an interesting comment by J Bell. According to Corby, Peterson isn't injured. If he's not injured, then what is it? Caliendo. Yeah, Caliendo has a lot left. We'll get to that in a second. Drake's wishy-washy all season. Hopefully it starts firing, but he's got tough bouts ahead. Yeah, on one hand, it's wishy-washy. On the other hand, it's just been he's wrestled like 10 matches, and every single dude has been a dude. You know?
He's had one. You talk about guys who haven't had the hardest schedule. But, I mean, yeah. Drake is the opposite.
Yeah. So 133, pretty clear. 141, Mendez clearly the 1. I have Hardy the 2. He has the highest. He has the highest rank of the rest of the guys. His only in-conference losses were to Mendez twice. He beat beat Von Bauer head-to-head. Von Bauer beat Nasir head-to-head. Bailey beat Davis head to head. So to me, it's real simple. Mendez, Hardy, Von Bauer, Bailey, Davis. The guy in front of him beat the guy behind him in every situation and has and they don't have any losses to lower guys. Here's the tricky part here. Joey Olivieri is undefeated on the year, 13-0. He has not even wrestled.
It's crazy.
He has not even wrestled a Big Ten starter. It's February 3rd, people. It's February 3rd. Joey Olivieri, 6th ranked in the country, has not wrestled a Big Ten starter. So he's a curveball only because of his high national ranking. And that high national ranking is built off two things. It's built off totally off last year's results, which to me you can throw in the garbage. I do not like these guys keeping their high ranking because they haven't hit anybody yet. I mean,
the chat is telling you to back off the mic a little bit. It keeps spiking today for some reason.
Well, maybe you need to adjust your levels. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, it's better. Joey's, by the way, is only going to see. I had heard maybe he got in trouble or something, and that's why he was out of the lineup for a little bit. That was a
Olivieri?
Yeah, that's like he broke a team rule or something like that. So that was the rumor I heard. I don't think that he was like purposefully ducking, ranked starters. I think he got into some kind of trouble. Allegedly, that's the rumor. Broke a team rule, something like that. That's what I think happened. He did return last week at the Bloomsburg Open and got 4 matches, so he should be back soon. But even still, this Friday night is his only opportunity to see a ranked guy. If he goes against Minnesota, he'll see Vance Von Bauer. That's it. The rest of the year, he's got Michigan State, Princeton, Hofstra.
So again, when I'm doing these, I'm doing them the way that I think the Big Ten will do them, and I really do think that if they had to seed today, I do think they'd put Olivieri behind Davis. I do not think they would prop him up with that number 6 ranking based on absolutely nothing. Like I said, I didn't say the second part of what it was based on. It's based on last year totally, except for the other part of it is he beat Ryan Jack. He beat Ryan Jack this year, which solid win, but I don't know why he would be ranked seated ahead of Braden Davis. Now the funny thing is, again,
what's the funny thing?
The funny thing is, it could be, again, academic, because if you do it the way I'm doing it and the way I think the Big Ten would operate, he's the 6, okay? If you do it by straight up national ranking, he's the 3. So it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think Olivieri belongs to 6. He does have the win over Jack, and you could say, okay, Willie, by that logic, then why isn't Olivieri lower? Well, because at some point you have to plug him in somewhere, right? And he does have the high national ranking, and he doesn't have any bad losses. And his win over, even if you say pure resume, let's throw out everything from last year, only use this year, okay. He does have the win over Ryan Jack, which is better than any win that Danny Pacino has.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we mentioned no, that was last week. We mentioned Von Bauer and Olivieri have a date, and that could help or hurt one or the other. The other one that's interesting is Ragusin, who was really beat up, banged up, and took him a while to get back into things. He's starting to look a little better now. He has Bailey and Davis left. So you might look at Dylan Ragusin saying, oh, Dylan Ragusin's way down there at 8. he can improve if he would get 1 or 2 wins. I mean, he has opportunities, right? He has an opportunity against Braden Davis or Nasir Bailey. So that's 141 and pretty clear. At least it's clear in terms of what are the moving parts this week and next week to get there. Let me
Yeah.
check out the. I don't know why I didn't change any settings on my end.
You're good now. I think it was just too close. It's good now.
Why is Olivieri wrestling only Bloomsburg duels? I had heard speculation that maybe he was involved in the gambling stuff. 2 ex Rutgers wrestlers were implicated in some betting stuff, like taking bets or running bets. And I heard Olivieri, I am not saying that Joey Olivieri was involved in organized crime. I'm not saying that. But somebody threw that out. Obviously, he's back wrestling, so he's fine. All right, 149. This might be interesting to some people because Shane Van Ness at the 1. Yeah, no kidding, obviously. But then they're going to say, Carter Young, how is Carter Young the 2 seed in the Big Ten? And then Zargos, and then Styles, and you're going to say, Willie, you're out of your damn mind. Ethan Styles is ranked 4 in the country. There ain't no way the Big Ten's going to seed him at 4. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Carter Young was only 3 spots behind him. And Styles has losses. Young beat Zargo. Zargo beat Styles. I don't know what to tell you. And to make it even crazier, is that right? Oh, so Styles has Young left. 1 block. I thought they had. Oh yeah, Styles did not wrestle against Lachlan last week. But if you go on process, that's the right order. Tell me in the chat if that's crazy. Because I certainly didn't sit down to do 149 thinking I was going to come out with this.
Isn't it kind of crazy that the Big Ten only has 3 in the top 12 ranked nationally?
It's a really weird weight. Really weird weight.
You got Shane Van Ness, the 1, talking national rankings. Then you've got Ethan Styles, the 4, and Carter Young, the 7. And then you don't have another Big Ten guy till McNeil at 13.
Yeah, by the way, these are Intermat's rankings from last week because they weren't out when I finished them. I'll switch them here in an hour or two and update it on the site. But so, for instance, Ethan Styles was 4 last week and then lost to Zargo. So he probably fell to, I don't know, 6 or 7, 6, 7, something like that.
See, how could this collaboration ever end?
And then you're going to say another weird one that's kind of weird is you're going to say Ryder Block at 7. He just lost to Drew Roberts, and his conference record is 1-4. He lost to Styles, lost to Zargo, lost to Van Ness, lost to Roberts, and his only win is Lamer, who's I have at 8. So 149 looks a little funky, but I think that's what it is. Thank a farmer. Everybody's commenting on my T-shirt. Thank a farmer. This is from a steakhouse in Iowa City.
You've told the story before.
I did.
Yep, Iowa Chop House.
Somebody also asked about my Willie Nelson shirt last week. I think, and where to get it. I think Hager gave that to me a long time ago. Okay. No questions there at 57. I thought, or 49. I thought you guys would be like, that's stupid. Um,
Let's have some fun
what
now.
157. Brandon Cannon. I have 1. Antrell Taylor 2. PJ Duke 3. Millard 4. Webster 5. Catcherbone 6. Jordan Williams. Can you believe Jordan Williams is 7? Luke Meckler 8. Anthony White 9. Cannon, unfortunately, legitimate injury. He missed the Antrell Taylor match. I'm pretty confident that he's not going to be ready to wrestle PJ Duke next weekend. I could be wrong on that. That's just reading tea leaves. And so it's a little unsettling to say a guy gets a 1 seed while missing duels against 2 and 3. But he is ranked number 1 in the country. He does have a win over Antrell Taylor by major. And I think ultimately they keep him 1.
It's going to be so crazy if these seeds held through that you'd have Cannon and Millard up top as a semi and Antrell Taylor, PJ Duke, a bottom semi at Big Tens.
Yeah. And there's not much other than Cannon Duke, which we think won't happen. The only other head-to-head upcoming that's major is Antrell Taylor, Cannon Webster. Now, if Cannon Webster would upset Antrell Taylor, we'll have to go back to the drawing board. At 6'7", there's Catcherbone and Williams who still hit 6'7". So that's a possibility. And for like the Purdue fans out there, Stony Buell does have a path to get in the top 9. Him and Indiana's Bryce Lowry, I think they could still get in with in some way if you're looking at that. But yeah, I think they keep Cannon 1. Antrell, if he beats Webster, he stays the 2 above PJ. Wicked weight.
Yeah, and just man, I think Brandon Cannon's legitimately injured. I don't think he's sitting out and just trying to protect that 1 seed. At the same time, it just stinks that this is the way it's going to unfold.
Oh, here's another thing, and I'll admit, I'm not sure what they will do with this. This is the first occasion that we had to talk about it. If you're wondering why I have Charlie Millard, who's ranked 21, ahead of Cannon Webster, who's ranked 9. Millard has an injury default win over Webster. What they do with that, I don't know. If Minnesota says, hey, it's a head-to-head win, it's a win. We were in the same building. We're on the same mat. Webster got hurt. We won the match. They could keep it that way.
That's how I think it should be. I hate to say it, but I think you reward the guy who shows up. And, like, it sucks when someone gets injured, but, similar like we've seen. Like, if it's why
it sort of begs the question. It sort of begs the question, and I hate to pick on Brandon Cannon, but it's the example that's right in front of our face. And I particularly hate to pick on Brandon Cannon because the injury is legitimate.
Right.
But if Brandon Cannon's hurt and can't wrestle PJ Duke, and we say, okay, that's fine. Brandon Cannon stays 1. But Cannon Webster takes the mat against Charlie Millard and gets hurt in 3 seconds. We go, whoop, it's a Millard win. It's a Millard win. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah. Look at this. This goes back to, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to kind of draw the parallel between what UWW did. It's not the same thing at all. I'm just saying to see it. What UWW just did with seeding a country, regardless who the guy is. Imagine if Big Ten and NCAA seeds were based on the team. So if all of a sudden Brandon Cannon can't go and PJ Duke beats the backup, that counts for Penn State's seed at Big Tens.
And it's not difficult. It's not difficult to do. Hey, I'll do it for you. I'll log them on. I'll log them all.
That would solve problems too. Like, look at 125 with Buzakis. Like, okay, so if Ohio State had a seed based on their collective output at 125, which, by the way, you're still going to have coaches game that if a backup does better and you don't think, you know what I mean? Like, there's a way to do that where the team gets the seed for the postseason over the wrestler, and it encourages, if you're load management, weight management, if you're doing those things, it definitely says, hey, you better think twice about doing that. Is he really sick?
Right.
Is he really injured? Is he really banged up?
Right. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And Cornell Kevin points out, makes a good point. Kasich and Miller last year, remember?
Yeah. Yep.
I disagree. 1 and 2 is, I don't know. I was gonna say 1 and 2 is a big deal, but I mean, if you're the one, you don't have to go through Anstrel and PJ. You have to go through one of them.
Yeah, this is one of those weights where there's a very clear, I'd rather be on the top than the bottom.
Yeah. Okay, 165. Let me check and see if anybody can get in. Oh, yeah, I said Buell and Lowry can get in. 165, pretty cut and dry, but it's amazing. It just amazes me that Joey Blaze, who is so good, is he returning national finalist, and he's a 3 seed in his own conference. Just incredible. And he's undefeated on the year. But Mitchell Mesenbrink's number 1, Michael Caliendo number 2, Joey Blaze number 3. Now, the good thing is that Blaze has his own destiny in line, because he has a shot at Caliendo next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. I have Skulls, even though the national rankings have Skulls a slot ahead, or a slot behind Araju. I have Skulls ahead in the seeding, and this is why. Skulls is 3-1 in the conference. LJ's a 1-4. So save me all the, when people talk about being biased and everything, I'm straight shooter. I could have very easily kept LJ to 4 and said, well, he's ranked higher. But I don't. If I was doing it, I'd have Skulls ahead. 3-1 versus the field against 1-4. That's how I do it. But they hit anyway, so they'll determine that. Sparks the 6, Patty the 7. This is as straightforward as you get, guys. This is easy peasy one. This one took 10 minutes.
The captain just texted me. I didn't even catch this, so shout out the captain. 3 NCAA finalists at 165.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. So 65 is pretty easy. I don't think the.
No, it's pretty straightforward.
Have Blaze and Caliendo hit before? I don't think so. Not to my. If it did, it was ages ago. I don't think so. 174. Haynes, Kennedy, Minto, Karchla, Bo Mantanona. Very clear. Now Bo. I was going to say no, but yeah, it's very clear. However, we do have some head-to-heads that will affect things. Kennedy Karchla. Now, if Karchla beats Kennedy, it creates a whole lot of chaos, because what the heck will they do? Kennedy beat Minto. Minto beat Karchla. Now, because as of right now, it is real easy. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And Minto beat Mantanona. So, real easy. And Karchla beat Mantanona. So right now it's as simple as it gets. However, if Karchla beats Kennedy, then Ohio State's going to say we should be above Kennedy, but Iowa's going to say we should be above Minto, and Nebraska's going to say last time out we beat Karchla. So I don't know what the hell they'll do. I don't know what the hell they'll do. And look at the national rankings: 1, 3, 4, 5.
It's crazy.
You know, now when you get below Mantanona, you got some chaos because Ballman's been pretty good for Purdue, 15-4 against everybody. That's a really good record in February. 3-2 against the field. However, he does have a questionable loss to Enright. It's the only loss among the top 9 to somebody not in the top 9. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's 174. 184. Now, 184 was another weight where I left a couple guys. I think Sam Goen and James Raleigh at the 8-9 is unclear, but they have a match upcoming, so that should be determined. Whoever wins that match, that is the last weekend of the season, whoever wins that match will be the 9. Rocco's your top seed. Angelo is the 2, and he has a ton of meat on the bone left in the regular season. He has Fishback left. He has Mantanona left. And then he would have Oklahoma State. However, he's been out. He's been out injured, so I don't know if when we'll see him again. Mickinelli the 3. Mantanona. And there's another one. With Ferrari Mickinelli's undefeated in the conference. And if you do the whole, hey, designated starter thing, Mickinelli didn't have an opportunity to earn the 2. Now it's the 2-3. I know, who cares? But you see where I'm going with it. It's another situation like that. Brock Mantanona the 4. Because he has a head-to-head win against Silas, and here again,
he also just beat Fishback.
Right, but here again, I put the lower-ranked guy ahead of a Nebraska guy for 2 reasons. One, he has a head-to-head win. Well, this is the complication. The 4-5 here, and again, it's a 4-5, so it's, I don't know. But Mantanona has a bad loss. He lost to Chris Moore, which I don't know if it's a bad loss, but it's a loss outside of that tier, right?
Especially when you only have 3 losses on the year. It's definitely a wonky loss. He lost to James Conway, lost to Sinclair, then he has that loss to Chris Moore.
Yeah, and so, man, Fishback is ranked, well, last week he was ranked 7th in the country, and I have him as a 6th seed. Seems really low, but Mantanona beat him, Silas beat him.
Yep.
You know, what do you do? That's the way I see it. I don't know how else you would do it. So it's another really, really deep weight. 6 guys ranked in the top 9. 197 was half easy, half chaos. The first 3 were easy. Barr beat McDaniel. McDaniel only lost to Barr. Geog's only loss was to McDaniel. So 1, 2, 3, easy peasy. Then you get into some craziness. Remy Cotton's 5-1. Didn't face the top guys, but he did beat Branson John. His only loss was to Barr. So I have him the 4, Branson John the 5. Cotton beat John head to head, and John also has a wonky loss, and that was to Ben Venadia, and that was Venadia's only conference win. So that's a little wonky. Solar's the 6. There's a lot of head-to-heads that could determine who will ultimately take the 9 seed. I don't know how much you guys care about the 9 seed. Uh, check the chat. Bigger question: does Marcus help Joey or Mitchell get ready for the other? 29 unbeaten wrestlers, no official losses left, and 14 are in the Big Ten. No, I don't do the intermat rankings. My man Earl does them. I got too much going on to do college rankings, and I think they're easy. Yeah, and Dean was a giant loss. I mean, he could have been the 2 seed here. But we only did get a small sample size. Heavyweight. Hey, listen, I'll take the last set of the last set of seeds here. Let me know how you see it, because at the top of the other 9 weights, to me, clear as day, with maybe the exception of 157. But Feldman beats Ferrari twice. Ferrari beats Gadiali, I think by major.
Yeah.
But Gadiali beats Feldman. How do you seed it? How do you seed it? Does Gadiali have the case for 1? A loss to Ferrari, but a win over Feldman.
Yeah, I think he's got a case, but
does he have a case? I went status quo. I went Feldman, give him a mulligan. AJ has the head-to-head over Gadiali. Mirasola beat Keeter. That's the 4-5. Keeter beat Amos. That's the 5-6. Hopke, Coy Hopke is ranked 10th in the country. Listen to this. Coy Hopke is ranked 10th in America. Guess what his conference record is against Big Ten starters? 0-5.
That's wild.
That's wild. Again, talking about this is not a knock on Illinois, but I was saying with Lucas Bird, and this gets even exacerbated because Luffman has missed a little bit. But Illinois had a weird, unbalanced Big Ten schedule. Luke Luffman is ranked 13th in the country, 10-3 on the year, and his only conference win against a starter is over Caleb Marzolino of Indiana.
It's crazy.
It's crazy that you get this deep into a season and he hasn't. I mean, he's 1-0. He hasn't lost anybody, but he also hasn't beat anybody. So that's the projected seeds, and guys, I don't think they're going to change all that much. It's pretty interesting. Now, there will undoubtedly be some upset that does change something, but they're not going to change wholesale. They're not going to change all that much. We know. Yeah. That's why I put remaining opponents. It's really great to see. Okay, he's projected as a 2, but can he move up? Who does he have left? He can't move to 1, but like Antrell Taylor, for example, he's sort of locked in at the 2, but he has that match against Webster. He drops that match against Webster, things change. So that's why I added remaining opponents. Let's see real quick. Penn State is 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4. Ohio State is 2, 2, 1, 4, 1, 7, 4, 6 with Fishback. Deep weight. 3 and 1. Iowa. Let's do Iowa. 3, 5, 4, 7, 7, 2, 2, 2, not seated. 5. Nebraska, not seated. 6, 2, 8. Lamer. 2, 5, 3, 5, 2, 2. Well, what do you think? What else, partner?
Big Ten is going to be awesome. I'm just
You
like
going?
going through it. It's kind of crazy that this is like what a loaded tournament. I mean, Big Ten's normally is postseason. You know what you're getting, but man, I got to figure out if I'm going. It's at Penn State, so easy travel if I'm up in New York.
Keith Gothard, why are you dunking on Luffman, pal? Here's a link again, by the way. I don't know if somebody's asking for it. Lots of pierogies. Where's there lots of pierogies? Now you got me hungry for pierogies.
Willie loves some morning pasta.
Oh, love. All I do is seed things and eat complex carbohydrates.
Willie wakes up at 10 or 11, seeds until 6 or 7, makes pasta, and then passes out at 9 a.m.
I did have pasta. This morning.
Of course you did. All right, so that's a look at Big Ten seeds, how they're shaping up. We're already an hour plus in, so we'll be back Thursday, Friday to preview the weekend.
Why don't we do a little Big 12 seeds? We'll go a lot quicker for Big 12 because they're a little, as opposed to these where it goes like 6 or 7 deep. Some of the Big 12s are only like 4 or 5 deep. Some of the Big 12s, I had to like hunt down guys for 8 and 9.
Keith, I'm out of Cal's cookies. I got to get some more, man. My kids are bugging me for them. And keep your eyes peeled because maybe an interview later today. We'll see. A lot of wrestling talk this week. 3, 4, 5 shows. That's what we do.
Yeah. So we'll do Big 12s. We'll do conference preview. What are you up to, bud? I am just, I've been seeding. I have to do Big 12s. And I'm going to be honest. A lot of Epstein file stuff. A lot of Epstein files. I've been digging.
People are faking so many now. Like one of the new trends on Twitter is people faking them, like making fake emails. And now at this point, it's like you see an email and then there's a Grok. Is this real? Because there's just so many.
I'm deep diving into Epstein files. And then, you know what? At like 7 o'clock this morning, I don't know, probably like 5 o'clock this morning, I'm doing this Epstein stuff and I'm like, hey, I wonder what became of that island. I wonder what became of that island that he had, right? So I look up his island, and then I'm like, how many islands are there? And then I'm on a real estate site that is like, buy your own private islands for sale, and I'm sending them to.
How many times were you on the island?
How many times was I on the island? On Epstein's island? 0 times. 0 times. I think crypto might be compromised by Epstein. It's a mess. It's a mess out there. Just follow wrestling. That's why you just stay out of it all and follow wrestling.
Yeah, follow wrestling. All right, we'll be back. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like the stream. We'll be back. Subscribe because interviews this time of year, the next couple of months, interviews and then random shows like this where an hour of just, let's dive through some data. So, all right, we'll be back. Go Bills.
Go Bills.